Now we will generate a simple program. This is an application given to second grader probably. Now the student is required to answer if the given number is odd or even. Now if even, he should say or enter 0. If odd, he should say 1. Now based on this 0 or 1, we are going to give a score. Now the challenging part is to generate a random number. Every time the program is executed, a number has to be displayed, and that has to be random in nature. So for that, we are going to be importing the module random, and then I would like to get a lower bound. So lower bound is equal to random dot, say, let me give it as 1000, and then I will generate it randomly, and an upper bound is equal to, say, 12,000. Now from here I'm generating a random number is equal to random dot, we got to call in the method uniform, and then pass in the lower bound and the upper bound. Okay, and then we will display this out to the user. Now before we could display this to the user, we will have to give the instruction print please enter 1 if the number is odd, and say 0 if the number is even. So standing instructions are given. Over here we will have to get that number, and this will give us a number. We will have to print this out. Print your number is, okay, so place a comma and then display the number. So the number is displayed there. Now the user has to enter his answer over here, or in other words, based on this information, the number has to be checked if it is odd or even. So I'm going to run a if condition. If random number, I'm giving modular division, if it is equal to 0 and the user's answer, so I will have to receive the answer, right? So user input, I'm going to name it like this, user input is equal to input, enter your answer. Now the issue here is that this is going to be a string, so I need to convert it into a numeric quantity. So that is converted, and over here the check is going to be if this is equal to 0 and the user input, and the user input, if the user input should also be equal to 0, right, if it is an even number, then I say print you win 1 point. That's the output. And what I will do is I will have to give an else. Else, if this is not true, I will say print you lose 1 point. So if the user fails this, Now we will have to check the other side also. Let me give that elif condition. Instead of saying else, okay, let the else be here. I will go up over here and I will give a elif here. Elif divided by 2 is not equal to 0 and user input is equal to 1. In this case also we can say print you win a point, you win 1 point. Now if the first condition is failed, so suppose it is equal to 0 and the user is not responding well, it will come over here, it will check for this condition, and even if this condition is not satisfied, we will have to print a statement. You will make one observation. Now let me show you the observation. So I've saved it and I'm going to run the code. So let me clear these things and I'm going to enter the file name, Python followed by file name. So please enter 1 if the number is odd and 0 if the number is even. Okay, now you might be seeing this number. If you think that decimal is a bit confusing, now what we can do is we can actually round it up. So over here I'm going to say int of this particular value. So whichever value that we're getting, it's going to be rounded. So that would ensure that that confusion of after the decimal sequence of numbers occurring will be removed. So let me just run this Python first.py. Okay, so it says that please enter 1 if the number is odd and 0 if the number is even. So what do you think this number is? So this number is even number. I enter 0, you win 1 point. And again I'm going to run it. Python, probably what you can do is you can give up a space here, enter answer. Okay, so that one would make reading a little bit more comfortable. So first.py, so this is the number given. Clearly this is an odd number, so I enter 1 and you win a point. Now in case if the user enters something else different from that, first.py, the user has to enter this choice, either 1 or 0. Now suppose the user enters say 3, you see that you lose 1 point. So that is the gate that we are holding on, that would control the user entering anything and everything that he or she wants. So this is a lovely program, students. We move on to the next question.